I appreciate the notion of agency, that we're not bystanders in the world. It's decisions, not conditions, that determine our fate and future. And that fundamental notion of agency, I think, is important more broadly. And I think that goes to some of the issues around, victimization. And I see a lot of that, respectively, on the right, increasingly, even with Trump often approaching things from that sort of.
What I saw,
what
it looked to me like he was negotiating with a deaf prostitute.
Trump derangement syndrome. You decided to be a J6, anti-J6 warrior. You participated in the J6 committee, which was completely dishonest and a show trial. And Republicans decided you weren't their cup of tea. It was not Steve Bannon's fault.
Imagine thinking that Tyrus and Megyn Kelly's tag team Takedown would not be able to defeat your slick hair and cocky smile. Caution: Gavin Newsom recently learned the hard way that sarcasm is more flammable than wildfires in California. Tyrus slammed his body truthfully as he charged. And because of Megyn, that interview turned into a 5-alarm roast. If Newsom thought he was going to get away unscathed, it was more of a public demolition than a debate. From the political, BBQ you didn't know you needed, greetings.
Back and watch the tape.
Yes!
He literally goes, I want some of this, then you do some of this, and I'll do some of that back to you, and then we'll do this, and then I'll pay you, and then we'll do it again.
True.
And then she kept saying, no.
No dignity. That's what I was missing. There was no dignity. It just looked like a man desperate for attention, and whenever DeSantis was scoring points on him, he would interrupt over and over to try to talk over the points as just that's like a middle school debate tactic, which is pathetic and not effective.
When Gavin Newsom walks into a room, the economy starts to tremble. As the electricity flickers, a double soy latte falls in fear. California would hold its breath every time this man spoke, wondering what terrible policy idea he would hide behind a shiny gel glaze and call progress.
Proud to be governor of California. 4th largest economy on planet Earth. 4th largest economy in the world, $4.1 trillion. You know why? It's because of immigrants. It's because people from all around the world want to come and live their lives out loud here in California, the most diverse state in the world's most diverse.
Governor Gavin Newsom has not yet been elected. He's a performer. After watching a TED Talk, a GQ model decided he was FDR's second coming, although with finer teeth and a lower approval rating. Tyrus and Megyn Kelly passed by holding symbolic baseball bats as if he couldn't further plunge the Golden State into the depths of taxation, red tape, and gaslighting. They are prepared to engage in political whack-a-mole with every absurd policy he has ever tried to claim was successful.
Ocean and his hair full of lotion. True, Gavin's views may be idiotic, but his hands moves, well, they're hypnotic. California Governor Newsom's new podcast is out. It's available wherever fine hair care products are sold.
Imagine being so happy with your album that you rush to the next out-of-state microphone to avoid having to respond to questions about it back home. Gavin has become California's most successful export in the immediate aftermath of high-speed exits and U-Haul rentals. Families are dodging sidewalk encampments and paying $9 for a head of lettuce on their way to pricey yoga sessions. While Gavin is busy arranging interviews in New York and bragging about how California is the future. What lies ahead? Ocean views and the collapse of society.
He's been opposing it, but he's been funneling the California taxpayers' money to the homeless, who are everywhere, thanks to him, to soft on crime DAs, right, who he supports and Searle supports, who are letting these looters in and out, and then he denies it. Meanwhile, we've seen the law that's been on the books up until recently when the California taxpayers reversed it, saying if you steal under $1,000, we're not going to.
But don't worry, Gavin sees nothing wrong. Politicians claim that he sees opportunity for innovation, which suggests that we made a mistake, but are going to change the name and add a hashtag. The housing crisis has turned into a density issue. As crime rates climb, justice is being re-examined. Millions of people are leaving the state because of flexible residence. Potholes are just urban acupuncture, please.
Illegals who are now getting Medicaid in California, thanks to him. Illegals. So this guy's priorities are not with keeping people safe at all. He doesn't.
Enter Tyrus, who seems to bench press bad policy for breakfast, and Megyn Kelly, who could articulately dismantle a granite countertop. Together, they did more than roast Newsom. He was slow-cooked with the kind of precision that only comes from a long period of holding back. Together with jokes and receipts, they brought a clarity to California not seen since the invention of the windshield wiper. Tyrus chastised Newsom for his obsession with cosmetic politics, saying that nothing more demonstrates effective leadership than solving a financial issue while sporting a Patagonia vest for a picture session. Megyn effectively lit a match under every talking topic that Newsom's team had ever attempted during a focus group. The man builds his story like a kid assembling Jenga bricks. He shut off the state so tightly that people were physically walking their houseplants to see sunlight. Meanwhile, Nwomi indulged in fine eating indoors at places so exclusive that even common reason was forbidden.
Well, speaking of full of I'm sorry, I'm confused. He's still governor, right?
Yes.
So he could do something about it. That's the most irritating thing, is like, why did anyone say with a follow-up where he's like, the homeless situation is ridiculous? Follow-up question, aren't you the governor?
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. That's the difference between the radical left and President Trump. He'll talk about something as...
Tyrus didn't mince words. He denounced the hypocrisy of politicians such as Gavin Newsom, who took lavish vacations while enforcing strict lockdowns on the public. He and Megyn attacked California's poor educational system under Newsom, where billions of dollars were spent, but students still did not receive a basic education. Newsom is unable to even keep the lights on in California, despite his attempts to position himself as America's moral compass. Tyrus claimed that instead of exercising leadership, he only describes his idealized leadership as the state falls apart in his wake.
Gonna go up and say, listen, I'm gonna sign an executive order to stop homelessness, and here's how we're gonna do it. Bam, bam, bam. Yo, the border. Done. 5 days later, 99%, no one's crossed. They're standing at the border like, you go. No, that, you go. Like, no one wants...
Tyrus and Megyn disputed Gavin Newsom's analysis of California's issues. Crime, if it's not sought, it doesn't exist. Newsom describes it as progress when businesses are boarded up and shoplifters are allowed to walk freely, although he presents himself as an expert in renewable energy. California's grid is in jeopardy as a result of his disastrous energy plan. Megyn proved that his leadership is meaningless by presenting receipts to back up her assertions.
I don't think Gavin Newsom is the great white hope of the Democratic Party. I really don't. I don't see it happening. Am I wrong? I realize he's got the widow's peak. That's in his favor. He's got the gravelly voice. I don't think Bashir. I thought Bashir could do it because he's a blue governor in a red state, Kentucky. But the more I listen to him, the more I'm like, he can't do it. He seems pathetic.
Tyrus and Megyn criticized Gavin Newsom's national tour, calling it a tone-deaf presidential tryout, when California is juggling internal problems. While residents suffer with basic necessities and petrol prices skyrocket, Newsom offers pointless platitudes and one-time relief payments that barely cover meals. Megyn exposed the sharp discrepancy between his skillfully written narrative and the harsh realities Californians face, proof that bad leadership cannot be made up for by public relations.
Radical for Gavin Newsom in California. The California state legislature passed a bill just like this, and Gavin Newsom refused to sign it. That's how crazy this is. And you accurately point out, Steve, it wasn't so long ago, Colorado was reddish, purple. Now it's considered blue, but there's probably a healthy red strain in there that could be revived if they go.
Megyn exposed the fantasy underlying Gavin Newsom's self-congratulatory tour and public relations spin by making fun of his tone-deaf leadership in a crisis-plagued state. With initiatives that are full of cliches, Newsom shifts the blame. While brushing off criticism despite significant departures, deteriorating infrastructure, and rising costs. California, she argued, had become a parody of lousy administration under a governor more focused on appearance than impact.
Gavin Newsom, he's out there trying to rewrite his COVID history. Truly one of the worst in the nation, possibly the worst on the lockdowns about which you were very public. And he's doing two things, saying we did way better than we did poorly. We had way more successes than we had mistakes. And by the way, anything you don't like was the result of local government.
Tyrus and Megyn revealed that Gavin Newsom's legacy is more about hashtags and headlines than it is about real leadership. As he focuses on looks and practice speeches, California is dealing with dysfunction, excessive costs, and blackouts. They expose the disconnect between the daily lives of Californians and his public relations-driven politics, they said. That leadership is about outcomes rather than appearances, and that Newsom is all show and no substance.
And we didn't know what we didn't know. And we're experts, we're geniuses. In hindsight, though, we have a report that we're looking forward to publishing on areas where we could have proved to substantively answer that question, not emotionally answer that question, through an objective lens, not a partisan lens.
Oh my Lord. Let me just give you the second defense because it speaks to how anything you didn't like, that was me. The school closures, that was those asshole local mayors. I see it all.
Tyrus and Megyn demolished Gavin Newsom's pristine image by exposing the real reasons for California's massive exodus, stifling regulations, rising taxes, and an increase in crime. They argued that under Newsom's rhetoric of equity, misery is only dispersed fairly inside a system of widespread failure. It's not leadership, it's dysfunction masquerading as a smile.
I think there's about 100 other reasons too.
Well, you can't, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes, did you? Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent Morse code.
Yes.
Go back and watch it. Look at the blinking. Look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending, I'm doing there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
Ew.
And then, look, he's blinking. And then eventually, the camera guy realizing that he's signaling him, so he gets appalled, leans back, camera comes down, and then we're back to this. I'll do this for you. You do this for me a little. So he's saying whatever he's going to say. There it is. See? They couldn't hold it back. He's like, I'm not on film. Oh, I'm not. Nope. Oh, bring my hands up.
Gavin Newsom continues to use slogans like California values and resilience as the state's middle-class departs. Given California's current problems, Megyn Kelly referred to his idea that he is president material as illogical. She exposed his flaws in such a way that not even his PR team could cover them up. While he manages his campaign abroad, Californians must deal with soaring costs and a lack of leadership.
He's playing with us. Meet me at my house. You get mine. I get yours. It'll work.
That Gavin Newsom, same. You're effed. Stop telling us about the embers in your hair. It's over for you, my friend. I'm sorry, but your political career ended last week. Again, he's pretending like he doesn't know it.
Tyrus and Megyn's attack on Gavin Newsom was not only clever, but also necessary. They articulated the view held by many Californians. Leadership is about finding real solutions to issues rather than delivering prepared statements. Newsom brands himself by emphasizing look over content while the state breaks down. Instead of a brand, California needs an actual governor.